Have you ever encountered someone in the workplace whose emotions always seem out of control? Or noticed someone among friends who consistently struggles to understand others' feelings? These individuals may be classic examples of low emotional intelligence, EQ. What are the signs of low EQ? Let's explore 7 common manifestations today. The first, inability to control emotions. Individuals with low emotional intelligence often struggle to control their emotions, which can run wild like runaway horses. Feelings of joy, anger, or sadness are expressed intensely and are difficult to self-regulate. For instance, at work, a minor criticism might provoke intense anger, leading them to lash out in a team setting and hurt colleagues' feelings. Imagine discussing a report with your boss who says, "This section needs improvement." Someone with low EQ might react excessively, showing anger, arguing back, and even coming across as disrespectful. In contrast, a person with high EQ would calmly listen to the feedback, understand it, and seek to improve, without letting negative emotions take control. Emotional management is a core component of emotional intelligence. Psychologists note that emotional reactions are fundamentally triggered by our perception of events. Learning to adjust our perceptions allows us to effectively control emotional fluctuations. The second one, difficulty understanding others' feelings. One of the hallmark signs of low emotional intelligence is difficulty accurately understanding others' feelings. Due to a lack of empathy, they often act inappropriately, hurting others without realizing it. For example, when a friend is experiencing emotional heartache, someone with low EQ might jump to offering solutions, or even blurt out, "Don't worry too much, time heals all wounds," instead of first offering comfort, expressing understanding, and showing support. This insensitive behavior can make the friend feel dismissed, potentially worsening their pain. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Those with low EQ often lack this capacity, making them unable to provide timely emotional support when needed, or even appearing indifferent. Over time, this inevitably damages their interpersonal relationships and social circles. The third one, easily offended. Individuals with low emotional intelligence are hypersensitive to others' words and actions, easily feeling offended even when no offense was intended. For instance, during a teamwork, you propose an idea and a colleague simply expresses a different viewpoint. Someone with low EQ might instantly feel rejected, becoming downcast or even hostile, perceiving it as a personal attack. This overreaction often stems from internal insecurity and low self-esteem. When an individual relies excessively on external validation to confirm their self-worth, they become hypersensitive to criticism or differing opinions, sometimes misinterpreting others' words. The fourth one, excessive reliance on external validation. Those with low emotional intelligence often exhibit an excessive reliance on validation from others. Whether at work or in social situations, they need external approval to feel confident. For example, after delivering a project presentation, they might repeatedly seek feedback. "What did you think of my performance?" Without immediate praise, they may become anxious and self-doubting. On the contrary, individuals with high EQ possess their own internal standards of evaluation and do not hinge their emotions or self-worth entirely on others' opinions. An excessive need for external approval often reflects a lack of self-awareness and self-identity. People with high emotional intelligence can typically think independently and possess self-confidence, eliminating the constant need for affirmation. They understand their strengths, accept their shortcomings, and do not blindly rely on external feedback to define their self-worth. The fifth one, habit of blaming others. When facing problems, individuals with low EQ habitually deflect blame onto others rather than engaging in self-reflection. They often fall into the mindset of, "I'm right, they're wrong." At work, if a team project fails, they might claim it was the others who didn't cooperate well, rather than reflecting on their own shortcomings in communication or coordination. Even in friendships, they tend to attribute all problems to the other party. Issues with taking responsibility are a key indicator of low emotional intelligence. Individuals with high EQ recognize their own role in problems, take initiative in assuming responsibility, and learn from the experience. In contrast, those with low EQ habitually shift blame and responsibility outward. This behavior not only hinders problem solving, but also damages interpersonal relationships. The sixth one, overreactive emotional responses. People with low emotional intelligence often exhibit disproportionately intense emotional reactions. Minor fluctuations in daily life can trigger strong emotional responses. For instance, a minor disagreement might cause them to instantly display anger, anxiety, or even burst into tears. Long after the incident, they may remain unable to let it go, constantly ruminating and blaming themselves. This overreaction often stems from a deficiency in emotion regulation skills. People with high EQ can balance their emotional responses, ensuring their behavior isn't dictated by emotions under pressure. On the contrary, those with low EQ are prone to emotional outbursts, which disrupt the stability of their personal and professional life. The seventh one, lack of self-reflection. Individuals with low emotional intelligence frequently lack the capacity for self-reflection. They often act on impulse, seldom engaging in deep thought about the impact of their actions and decisions on others. For example, after a team project failure, they might repeat the same mistakes without seeking ways to improve. On the contrary, individuals with high EQ learn from failures, summarize lessons, and work on self-improvement. Self-reflection is a crucial component of emotional intelligence. Only through continuous reflection can we identify blind spots and areas for growth. People with high emotional intelligence can extract valuable lessons from every experience, gradually enhancing their self-awareness and problem-solving abilities. While individuals with low emotional intelligence often face difficulties in life, this is not insurmountable. By improving skills in emotion management, self-reflection, and empathy, each of us can enhance our own emotional intelligence. We hope this guide helps you better recognize these 7 signs of low EQ and empower you to cultivate higher emotional intelligence in your own life.